rules. Okay. Um, Welcome everybody in the world to review my little share for all of you. Um, but first, I must say, uh, if you think that Ukraine must belong to Russia, please leave now. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. Go and take off that president that you have. It's enough. Okay, let's go to the point. We are going to share very interesting things, I think, and we will talk first, perhaps, about history of phenomenon, because it's a very important subject um, uh, in relation of the real meaning of this streaming, that it's about special effects with enamels. But it's necessary to understand how it was in the past. I think that most of you know that enamels start at Egypt. They start to put some oxides with some kind of glass in something like a Champlebe technique 5,000 years ago. And of course, it was just for pharaohs, for royalty. And this was transformed by history. Venice culture, Venice ships start to spread that knowledge. Then barbarians did their task, in the sense that they could get some gift from the lands and the people invaded, and actually it helped to spread enamel around the world. It had not more changes since 7th century, when enamel center was Babylon, but is in Constantinople. Many masters were there, and of course the subject of their works were always related to religion, and of course to royalty. But after the Constantinople fall, masters left and went to Limoges and also to Caen in Germany and other places. But the interesting thing about Limoges is that it converts itself in the center of enamel between 16th century to 19th century. They continue working for royalty and for church, but they start to make male paint, which is like miniatures of portraits that, of course, not everybody could buy. it's known that at um, yeah 1,700 800 there were more than 200 enamelers that covered uh, the orders from all of the world to get that shovels. Okay, but then it's something changed. I think that the first who shows change was Lalique with Art Nouveau. We can say about another people in Belgium, Tiffany, that have an apartment with enamel masters doing things. And it was really a break, but we continue as enamelers in the past to be attached, to be very skilled to do something. After First and Second World War, many masters went to USA, and there it was interesting how new enamelers made a change absolutely in connection with my view. I would like to share with you something, but I need to call to my webmaster. Dante! Because these new devices are it's not my task. I want to share yeah, pictures that are there here. Okay, and then
just open the pictures that you want to show. Everyone will see.
Okay. Wait a little, please. Yeah. Here we can see something. Sorry for my delay. Okay, first of all, it's not from USA. It's Alexander Sadlo that I admire a lot. He sadly died, but he's absolutely underrated enameler. That escaped from Russian oppression and went to finally to England. Oh, and this it's from France. It's not from USA. It's one of the, for me, considering my view, the most beautiful enamelers ever. His name is Christian Christel. Please check him. It was one of the artists that needed to fight against traditional enamel, and actually his Japanese style and raku made a big difference between traditional enamel and this. Okay, USA, Earl Pardon. Earl Pardon is was father of Todd Pardon, whom I admire a lot. He started to break rules like many others. This is Fred Ball. Fred Ball. I am talking about vintage enamelers. Um, Fred Ball. Well, okay, William Harper, who uh, uh, don't know William Harper. He is the one who broke everything. I like it so much. Um, well, Joseph Tripetti that actually made a big works. This is not a good picture, but Jane Schwartz, it's actually another of my favorite enamelers from all of the history. Kay Cummins. Kay, I don't remember his surname. But you can see which way 60s appear on enamel too. Okay. Here we continue. Okay, Paul Halberg, another one. Paul Halberg died to Kenneth Bates. Kenneth Bates. Kenneth Bates is it's amazing. You may know him. He wrote a very interesting book. Paul Halberg, I told you before. You understand how he tried to express the power of enamel in other ways beyond skills. Phyllis Wallen, absolutely beautiful. Okay, and here it's not so vintage, but it's Earl's son, Todd Pardon, whose work is absolutely amazing. And actually, I have no time to show all of you everything. But Toshiro Tanaka, a Japanese woman from Hiroshima, she works in a big plaques and sculptures with steel. Virgil Catini, another who made big pieces of architectural enamel. Okay, so now I hope. Yeah, I am. I am learning. Okay. What about? I consider my view around enamel. Of course, it's impossible to deny incredible enamelers. Actually, from contemporary time. I can name David Giesel, Mary Lee Wright. It's impossible to name all of them. Amy Roper Lyons. There's hundreds of them really that I admire a lot, and it's evident that their skills are at the top, and their good taste. But what is my view? Which is my view? Again, I fully respect traditional enamel, but I personally think that the real power of enameling is to take advantage of all chemical and physical changes that materials can give us. So this is what I love. Actually, I have not too much patience to do cloisonné. Even I taught it, and I even did it, but made it. But I am in love with special textures, special effects, and this is about this class. So I would like to share some pictures around this beyond that what you are seeing here, that is just some samples with one of the techniques that I will present today. It's a very interesting one, really. It's very, very plastic and unexpected results can be appear. Okay, now I will try to yeah, I did it. Okay. We will start with the very used technique, that's uncompatibilities. There are a lot of ways to do this depending on the materials that you have at your hand. But it's just a defect, mistake, because enamels are not compatible. But actually, they create absolutely interesting textures. You all in USA might know about crackle enamel and separation enamel, but it's not the only way. This is with glass enamels on copper enamel for copper. It's another way. Okay, then we pass to glass inclusions. Glass inclusions, it's a very wide possibility. We are talking about glass as generic material, but not every glass it's able to be kept on copper. It's a very, very interesting possibility, considering that you can switch different kinds of enamel, like this soft white and hard lamps, or what you want. This is another special effect, very beautiful. Now we pass to metal inclusions. In this case, it's an inclusion of aluminum, which is absolutely possible to do. Another inclusion of copper, another inclusion of aluminum. Well, not a good picture, but it's a copper, oxidated copper inclusion. And now we can see what I called movement of colors in cold way. This is thanks to Yvonne Plus from Switzerland, Zurich, who started to play with this, and she talked to me about this incredible technique. Well, this is a very vintage one, moving colors, or I don't know which is the name in English. but actually you can get absolutely interesting things. This picture is not so good, but it's an example to show you how much I like to add technique over technique to get even more impressive results. And this is a metallization in the sugar coat texture, and in this case it's sugar coat, but not metallizated. So because of this, I say that adding 2, 3, 4 techniques, it's absolutely product fault. Okay, this is another example of metallization. This is not so clear, but you can see that this is absolutely silver color. Another, you can see copper oxidations, not copper oxidations, real copper. Well, then we will pass to oxidations. Bad picture. Oxidation is my most loved son. I researched this during 25 years or more, and I found it that it's most interesting and possible changes can be in your hand if you know the rules and the materials. Very, very interesting. It's important to mention that all of that colors that you are looking at were made or came from copper oxide and white. Just this. White, transparent. This is the materials. These are the materials. And actually about tempering, that is another step of this incredible technique. You can change the colors depending on temperature or on particular places. It's infinite. Another more different temperings, different kinds of temperings, different temperatures. Okay, we will pass now to see some that I discovered 2 years ago. I think it's enameling with borax. It's very, very interesting, and you can do many different things. Of course, if you know the rules. This is absolutely interesting. You can get oxidations, you can get incompatibilities, and crystallizations. Okay, this one is about one of the last tutorials that they made, that is freak inclusions, which consist in 3 chapters about inorganic materials inclusions, organic materials inclusions, and chemicals. You can see many, many different results using all of that materials that I spoke about. I don't know if it's beautiful or not, but it's new, and that is what is important for me. I think that this could be nice for a bridge. Well, now we are entering in eutectic process, which is another incredible technique, but it's not about my own research. And actually you can get incredible textures like granulated surfaces and change the colors from enamels. This is very beautiful one. I think that it belongs to I don't know. It's one student from my workshop. I don't remember if this is Jean-Marc Boissac or I don't remember. Okay, more. Now we start to see Raku process. Raku process is the last research that I could put into words animation in my last tutorial so far, and it's another absolutely amazing technique to get different textures, different, because in a reductive atmosphere, as oxygen is not involved in the reaction, oxygen will go out, so metal oxides will lose their oxide components and will become into metallic surface that actually it's metal, and it depends of which oxides you use to get different colors, and in these cases silver nitrate. Well, now we pass to another technique that is volumetric enamel. I think that I discovered this trying to go to the edge, and it's very, very interesting how it can be enamel. You can see has very, very high volume, and this is very, very new thing that can gives you very interesting possibilities around volume and sculpture. But talking about enameling, okay, we have more raku here, and I think that this is the end. Okay, let's see. Well, I would like to show you another samples. Perhaps I will call to my webmaster Dante. Can we do it wider? This one. Okay. Oh yeah, my son, it's a master, really. Okay. Well, this is what I am showing. It's movement of colors in cold wave. It's, as I told you, absolutely interesting technique. You can get incredible textures, and I like this one. There is something that you need to consider around special effects. That is that there's all possibilities are open, but you are committing mistakes all the time, so you need to know how to continue with it. This is a perfect example. It's what I will show you, that this oxidation, as I told you, it's my preferred technique, and you can see how beautiful they can be, and I repeat, just using white and flux, not any white, not any flux, But temperature is absolutely important in order to be successful. Despite that you can see a lot of different colors, I repeat, they were all made with the same materials, certain whites and certain fluxes. Actually, you can see how the color can change depending on the temperature in the third melting, that is called tempering. This is one of the exercises that I used to do in online classes. It's a matrix who can give us a vision around different whites and different fluxes. Perhaps this one was not so expressive. Here you can see another color change just because of temperature, because materials under are the same. It's oxide, it's just copper oxide. Okay, this can be more accurate. In this case, we can say, oh, okay, I like this one, so I will repeat this to try to get similar results. Last one, and let's stop with oxidation. It's an interesting thing. Okay. Let's pass to another. This is very used nowadays. I think that this is sugar code is nothing that needed to be explained, and it has some secrets to do, but actually it's a very interesting texture because it has no right. It's not flat. It's not flat, and it's something like enameling upside down. Sorry for this anarchic sample show. This is another case. In this case are glass lamps. As I told you before, not all the lamps can be useful. These ones from Israel worked very well. Of course, I gave a lot of temperature. You can get something like this, or something like this if you add a movement in hot way. Different ways. It has metallization and certain way to melt lamps for them to become spheric. This is another glass inclusion. It's just a broken part of a blue plaque on orange incompatibility. Well. Another. This is an oxidation with a certain kind of glass. Well. Continuing, because well, I will avoid to show too much incompatibilities because it all depends on the materials that you can get. But I will show you just this. That is the way that I like to test every technique doing a matrix. Actually, you can get really interesting results. Okay, what more we have? I will show you this to show you how powerful this technique could be. We are talking about volumetric enamel. Just see the volume It's absolutely stuck, absolutely stuck. Um, I'll show you this in pictures, but now you can see the real volume. And this is an ongoing sample. And look at this. It's absolutely stable. There's no possibility to break it. And then I need to enamel it. Well, continuing. Well, some little more metallizations. You can see it depends of the enamels with which oxides were made to get different metallic brights. It's a really easy technique, but of course you need to catch the right time, as in every technique that are involved in special effects. Okay, now another very interesting technique. I talk about it, that eutectic silver. It's I don't want to catch the focus. Okay, this is. I really like the power of these textures. Okay, now, well, that vintage technique that we were talking about, I will show you just some samples. This is very 70s. And combinations are almost infinite. Come on, baby. Okay. Continuing. Okay. Esta.
Yes.
Okay. Well, master, everything is okay. I am double plugged because, you know, hope it can work. It's working, Dante? It's working? Okay. Okay, metal inclusions. Another usage, of course, plus an A is the basis of this, but this is PC components, copper components from some part. This is aluminum. I really like this technique. It's very interesting, and this is permanent. Well, this is another test trying beyond silver foil here. This one is silver foil too, but it has microspheres, which is another very interesting research to reach luminescence. Just a copper web stacked with enamel. And talking about combinations of techniques, this is an oxidation on and included in another sample. And what more? I think that this is another of my latest researches. I will show you some of them. This is about what I called by myself freak enamel, freak inclusions, because it's actually freak. I tried with success using paper, leather, feathers, many things that it's supposed that can't be used with enamel, like this one. This is with soda and copper oxide. This is with snails. Yeah, snails. Of course, you need to do some intermediate process to get this mica inclusion. Another with feathers. This is with salt, regular salt. And this one is with mica too. I don't know if it's possible to see all that bright points. Okay, so here we are. Oh, I am learning, really cool. Now, I will leave you with a video, a short video, and then we will continue. Dante. YouTube.
Para
Dante.
adherir el alambre.
YouTube.
Para adherir el alambre. de YouTube para
de
cobre
alambre.
de
Okay, we are going.
para
De
cobre
alambre.
de
Okay, we are going.
cobre
Okay. Now we finish the transmission. I mean, I saw some questions here, not so much, but it's not important. I want to tell you, if you are looking at this streaming, not in this very moment, but after. This will be hosted on my channel, and you have in my comments two links to see which tutorials and which online classes can I offer to you. Okay, in Spanish. Dicho y hecho, a las 14. Yep, at 2 p.m. a las 2 en Argentina. Lily, Olga Lustenko, hi. I will share with you in the next class, if you think, because it's a very difficult and never lasting time task. Okay, I will wait for you if you have some other questions, and if not, I will just leave. Actually, there's not too much to answer, so I can do it after. So I am grateful that you came here now or in the following days, hours, and I will leave you with again a big concern about what is happening in the east of Europe. Okay, bye bye everybody, and we are talking.